Hi guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to address something that I struggle with myself in my business and my life, and that is, what do you do when you have so many interests, passions, hobbies, ideas, you just don't start any of them. So I'm Sarah Meyer, and with my channel I help you find creative ways to start a purpose-led business and make an income online. If that sounds like something you'd like, then please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and drop me a comment. Let me know what you think, if any of this has resonated for you. Being a multi-passionate creative person is a really wonderful gift. It really is. But when you're trying to start a business or build a business or a project, it can be a real overwhelm because we have so many ideas that what do you do? Sometimes the ideas are in completely different niches, and all these gurus sort of tell you that you need to find a niche, you need to stick to this niche, and it's really difficult for us multi-passionate people. So a little bit of background, it's sort of a running joke with a lot of my friends that I've had a varying range of different careers, different courses, different trainings that I've been on. My background is in graphic design, and I went to college and did art when I was younger. I also have a background in fitness instruction, so I was in the fitness industry for a number of years. I've taught yoga. I also have a very deep connection to spirituality, so I am currently studying towards my 200-hour yoga teacher training. I play guitar, and I'm learning music theory and how to compose my own songs. I'm also a Reiki healer and an alternative therapist, and I also home educate my children, so I have a passion in how children learn, and I'm currently working with a friend to develop an unschooling community. So, and this is the problem with the multi-passionate, people. Some of our interests are or seem to be so polar opposite that they don't it can become difficult to work out how to blend these interests together into a niche that other people may be able to benefit from. Sorry about that. Just everything's falling off my shelf. So one of the best things about being multi-passionate is that the ideas are flowing. So, that excitement that you get when you have an idea and you sort of jump into it, and you get lots done, and you can research and you can find so much information about, what you're passionate in. The problems arise when you're trying to start a business, and like I said before, you have all these gurus telling you that you need to niche down, you need to find your niche. And I've done a lot of this as well, where I've sort of jumped on an idea, sort of niched it down, and then had another idea and thought, well, I'll do that, and then had another idea and then thought, well, I'll try and do that, and then before you know it, you have all these different things all over the place. It becomes so overwhelming that we lose focus, and where your focus is, that's what what can blow up and manifest in your life. So if you're not focused on your business, and you have lots of other things, it can become difficult to find success. And then the other thing that can happen as well is, if you get so drawn into working and finding your niche, you feel repressed. You're sort of thinking, well, I've got all these other ideas, but I can't sort of fit them in, but I'll stick to this niche because that's what I'm told to do. And then you feel, you can feel really repressed, and then you can sort of start to resent your business, and that's happened to me as well. That can happen if you're not given the freedom to express your creativity. So how can you find clarity when you have all of these ideas going around in your head? Well, the first thing what I've found for me is to have a purpose. So you could have all of these different interests, and you could go after all of them, but not really have a purpose behind them. Once you've found your message, who you are, what you want to do in the world, then all of your interests and hobbies and passions, you can start to integrate them into what you're doing. This is what I do often, is I write down some of these things so I can gain clarity on why I'm doing what I'm doing. So one of the first things I would to ask yourself is, what activities do you really love doing that cause you to sort of lose time? So you get so entrenched in them that you would, you could do it for hours, you would research, you would throw yourself into it, hyper focus on this particular subject. What subject is there that you would lose time? You would be so enjoying it so much that the world would seem to disappear. The second thing I would write down is, what do people come to you often to find information about? So for me, this was an easy one, because I've had people always coming to me for help with their business. So this is why, this channel exists. So, what subjects, what do people come to you for advice? Is it self-development? Is it business help? Is it design? Is it gardening? What do people come to you to pick your brains? So write that one down. What was the other one? Money. So if money wasn't an object, if you didn't need to earn a living, what would you do? So if somebody, say for example, if somebody gave you £1 million or $1 million and said you could use this to do something that would help the world or help your community, or to put into something that you love, what would you do? What would come into your head and think, yes, this is it, this is what I would do with that money? Or if money wasn't an issue, you didn't have to earn a living, what would you do? What would you do with your time? And one of the other things, just as a side note, is there are a lot of sort of people out there doing various things online, different businesses, and one of the things I would just be mindful of is try not to copy somebody else who's, just because they're successful. When we go into something and think, yeah, this is quite a good niche, and this is one of the things that sort of can trigger me sometimes, when you hear these gurus saying find a niche down, this is, find your target audience or whoever it is. And that can be good advice, but if you're doing that without any purpose behind it, and you're just copying what these gurus are telling you and going through their systems, then you're actually not being yourself, you're not being authentic. It's kind of like following the money instead of following your passion or your purpose and letting the money find you from that, in your business. So there's some of the things that I would write down. If any questions come from those answers, then again, write them down too, because that's what happens to me. You sort of go on a little journey as you're journaling those questions down. So the next thing is just start something. So if within all of your interests there is something that sort of stands out, just start. Just go for it. If it looks a bit chaotic and a little bit messy, it will do at the beginning anyway, so don't be too put off that you sort of don't really have a clear message just yet. Just start something. Just be authentic. Just put yourself out there, become the niche. So rather than having a niche, build something around what your purpose is, and make it, just start it. If it looks a bit messy, persevere, and then you can always integrate all of your interests on that as you go along. If you wait for the perfect time to start, you're going to be waiting forever. And that's something that, again, I've had this channel. I started this channel 3 years ago with an aim just to put some of the information out online that other people have come to me and said, Sarah, how do you do this? What do I need to do with this? I have this idea, how can I do it? And I thought, right, I'll put it all online. And then I waited and waited and waited, because it's sort of, where do I start? So sometimes you just have to start, and if it looks a little bit messy, persevere. Don't be too worried about what other people think. Don't worry too much about other people's opinions. Just do it, and if it looks a mess, it'll come together. And if it doesn't, you can scrap it and start again. There's no shame in that. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have found something in it, then please, let me know, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you again. Bye bye.